Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be about how to keep your foundation nice and fresh throughout the day and make it look as natural as possible. I hope you have already subscribed, and if you haven't already, please do. It will mean a lot to me. Also, don't forget to hit the like buttons and also your notification bell so you don't have to miss any more of my videos. I had so many questions from you guys on my Instagram page, you know, asking me how I achieved this flawless and very fresh looking skin. Just to inform you guys, this is going to be a 4-part video where I do the base, the eyes, the magnetic lashes, woohoo, and also I'm going to be doing my most popular hairstyle, so do stay tuned for those. Without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how I achieve my flawless fresh looking skin all day. So first of all, for me, it's very important, as I have dry skin. Even if you don't have dry skin, it is very important to look after your skin before you apply any foundation, which means any sort of moisturizers, any eye creams that you may have that really suits your skin. I obviously have a little bit of this facial oil, which I love and I keep reusing because I don't get as much allergic reactions from Palmer Cocoa facial oil, and I absolutely love this one. It's a skin therapy oil for face, and it actually does a lot of good stuff. It's a multi-purpose anti-aging benefit with vitamin C and retinol. Before I apply anything on my face, obviously I wash my face in the morning. I apply this little 2-3 drops of this on my face and also under my eyes. Not too close, but just enough just to cover my skin and to keep it nice and hydrated. I'd like take time, like 5 minutes, to really kind of get the oil to sink into my skin, massage it everywhere I need to, all the dry patches. I'm not really too much into primers. I usually skip primer. I also go in with the Nyx Bare With Me Prime Set Refresh. This is like a very nice refreshing spritz that I like to apply as well before I apply my foundation, and I tend to leave it to dry and really sink into my skin with the oil that I already applied. This is obviously like a primer, unless you have like oily skin or you need something to keep under control. I do recommend using a primer, especially the one from Benefit, very good one. The one from Smashbox is amazing to actually get all the control and not have, you know, the problems of your foundation really cracking and doing things throughout the day. So I tend to be more into foundation that is going to make my skin very nice, dewy, glowy kind of look, rather than the matte and very drying look. I mean, for some people, you know, if you have oily skin, I understand that you need to most likely use the matte one to keep the oils under control. But I do recommend that you still do a little bit of moisturizing underneath and really look after your skin beforehand. I'm using the NYX Born to Glow. This is probably my favorite foundation because it's so lightweight and it really does the job. This one is in Warm Vanilla, Naturally Radiant Foundation. I am so obsessed with this. I actually have the Born to Glow Radiant Concealer to go with it. I like to apply this foundation with my fingertips because it works best when you just apply it sort of like as a cream and then tapping it into the skin. So it gives me like a very natural looking skin. You can build up on this, or you can have a very light coverage with it. If you have little blemishes, you can do the concealer before the foundation and then put the foundation over it, and it's going to look a little bit more flawless, as well as then over it if you have very strong sort of pimples, any skin discolorations. So you can see this is already making my skin very sort of glowy, dewy. You can tell that my skin is nicely covered, but it's not really cakey and very heavy. So this is what I really love about this foundation, how real and how beautiful it looks on my skin. It makes my skin basically look like skin, but with less imperfections. Also how affordable it is, because most of these foundations can get quite pricey. I know there's very good brands, expensive brands out there that's going to do magic on your skin, some of those foundations, but I think in this case with this one, I think it's only about £10 and it does last quite a bit. Although this foundation is very light and it's buildable coverage, it actually is very gentle on the skin. It's very light feel. I do like to use my fingers with it, but you could use your little sponge or your beauty blender or a brush with it. I've tried with every single thing and it does perform beautifully. I am also going to use the Born to Glow, and I usually like it because it's got the tip already and you can just dab it where you need to. And this is the usual places that I apply it. So, haha. Oh, it looks funny. The process always looks funny. This one definitely doesn't crease as quick. I was really surprised when I got this concealer, because I would tap it in and it would not crease like for quite a while. So it was lasting before I could even put my powder on. Some they crease straight away, so then you know you have to sort of go over it before you powder it down to make it stay put. But with this one, it was like really amazing. It just does not crease as quick. The less foundation you use, the better for your skin, and also it does last longer because it looks more like your skin. So throughout the day, it's not gonna start getting too cakey and it's not going to start creasing too much, because it's very lightly applied, but it's applied where it's needed. Right now it looks a little bit of a casting call, like very bright, but it does sink in once I apply my powder and powder it down, and also once I put my bronzer on. So next up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using my Huda Beauty in Sugar Cookie. This is my absolute favorite powder. I've tried so many different powders. I like to use a smaller brush like this, which is very sort of fluffy. This one is by Echo Tool. I usually try to set my eyes underneath very quickly, just tapping it in, and on top as well, so it stops creasing while I do the rest of my face. So I like to go in with the smaller brush into the smallest places with the powder first, and then obviously I take the big brush to do the rest of my face. Before I finish the rest of my face, I like to take the NYX Wonder Stick, and this one is Universal. It has a very light brown shade, which I really love because it is something that is going to look very natural on your skin as contour. It's not going to look over dramatic. So if you go from the top of your ear downwards and create like a free, I'm sure everybody already seen it a million times and probably know about it. And then go along my jawline, as well as going up like this, and as well as creating a little bit on my nose. So I don't like to contour my nose too much either, and I do try to draw a line somewhere along here, so it's not like I have an extremely long nose. Duh. And yeah, I like to go towards my brows. It doesn't have to be extremely neat. I like the fact that it comes with like a highlighter as well. It's a cream highlighter that looks quite nice as well. Take this brush, which I really love. This one is the N93E from the Body Shop, and what I like to do is just dab the concealer upwards from the line where I applied it, blending it in and making it look as natural as possible. Okay guys, so this is how flawless it actually becomes. The reason why I like to do this type of contour is because it actually blends in very nicely and it makes the contour look a lot more natural, and it's so easily blendable, especially with this brush. What I like about it, because it's so flat from the sides, it actually really helps to keep it on point where you need it specifically, rather than, you know, smudging it all over. So it looks like this. And yeah, I really like this brush. Had it for a while now, I think a few years, and it's still going strong. It's a really lovely brush. And I actually like to be a little tan on my forehead. You don't have to go as low as me, but I do like to look tan, especially now that I am blonde. Obviously I tend to look a lot more whiter with the blonde hair, so I do need to add a little bit of an extra color into my skin just to even it out. As you all know, my blonde girls out there, I'm just going to go in and set the rest of my face even over this contour that I just did. And this is going to actually make it even more natural and make it look like it's part of my skin. Just have a very light hand. Make sure you always tap it off, dip it in, tap it off, and work with whatever's the remainder on that brush rather than the extreme excess. Just to emphasize a little bit on the nose to make it look a little bit more snatched in. I like to go over it too, so it looks more natural and it doesn't look too obvious with the two lines coming down. So the next thing that I like to do is take my Rimmel Radiance bronzer. I think this is in a shade 001 Light. It's got like shimmery little golden particles, which is gonna make it very sort of natural and glowy, that radiance. And this is exactly what this does. This is why I love it so much. The NYX highlighter in Dazzle. I really love this highlighter because it's very gentle as it comes onto the skin, and it's not as boom in your face like all the highlighters out there. It's very much like a radiant kind of highlighter. As you can see, I just tap it in with my finger and the shimmer is like a natural glow within rather than an extreme highlight. So it just goes onto the skin very gently, and once you put your spray on, your setting spray on, it actually makes it look very much just like a very nice radiant glow on your skin. So it is definitely my favorite right now to use as a daytime highlighter. I think not everyone is into the whole full beam highlighter where people can see you from a mile. I think a lot of us do like to look quite just radiant and very like naturally beautiful to say. So this highlighter has literally blown me away because the glow of this thing is just so beautifully natural. What I do is I usually finish off with the Bare With Me spritz again. So I spritz all over my face and I literally leave it to dry and really sink into my skin, and go in with my little sponge, spray it a little bit, tap it on, and then tap the makeup all in once it's been kind of dry, just to settle everything in and make it nice and flawless and fresh looking. So you can see my skin looks really refreshed and it doesn't have any dryness or anything from the powder. It just sinks in. Okay guys, so as you can see, I just applied my brows and my lashes because I didn't want to bore you. And I also used the Knit Fab like a, you know, blush palette. I like to use the one that's Perfect Coral, which is this one here. Just a soft touch just to get it in there and just to have that little bit of blush onto your cheeks so you don't look as deadly after you've done all the powders. By the way, I know my makeup looks a little bit messy underneath the eye right now, but I just poked myself in the eye and you can only imagine what happened when the mascara went all over underneath. So I had to clean it up a little bit, and that's why it looks a little darker at the moment. It looks very naturally flashed. I know some of you may not prefer to put it too far, and I wouldn't recommend. Maybe stop at this point here at your bones of your cheekbones. But I do like to drag it out a little bit lately towards my nose because I do like it quite frosty. So just so that we don't look dead while we are out there, as much as we want to look naturally radiant, we also want our lips to look good and kind of luscious but in a natural way. This is one of my favorite of all time lipsticks, Velvet 07 Rogue Edition Velvet by Bourjois. And this is something that I've been using actually for years because it's something that you can use as a tint. It's something that you can use lightly basically and also build up on it. And it keeps your lips really hydrated. And it's got a nice kind of a natural color that actually is gonna suit most skin tones. So this is the finished look, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new that will probably help you out to make this and achieve this fresh kind of looking look that's going to be nice and radiant and glowy all day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.